Today I'm going to be unboxing the GOYOJO Autoclave. We can't see this did come in a wooden crate, which is nice. It even has some handles on the side. It says the gross weight is 28 kilograms, so it's about 60 pounds. So it is definitely on the heavy side, but it is not so heavy that we could not pick the guy up and put it up on the desk. So it does come with a manual, and that is in color. It says that is 110 to 130 volts AC. It uses 1100 volt amps, has a chamber size of 9.1 by 14.2 inches, and an overall size of 22 by 14.4 by 13.2 inches. It's saying the net weight is 23 kilograms, which is about 50 pounds. It's about 60 pounds with the crate and everything included. It has a sterilization temperature of 121 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes or 134 degrees for 10 minutes. Definitely cared about packing for this, so that is excellent. And there is nothing else in the crate. Looks like everything else is packed here inside the autoclave. And before I go any further than that, I'm going to put on some gloves. So we can see on the inside, we've got our heating element. It looks like we have our temperature sensor right there. And then in the back, it looks like we have got our drain. So one thing I did notice that I like is that this is actually on a swivel. So that means even if the hinges wear down over time, we are still going to be able to make a good seal. We have a full O-ring seal here on the door itself, and that is going to make sure that we got a full seal on the chamber. The reservoir does have this little cap here on the bottom that does not need to be sealed, which is excellent. So there's going to be one less point of failure. Right here on the bottom, we can see we got a little foot, and that's going to engage with this safety switch. We have our drain right here on the bottom. We have our valve right here for pressurizing, on-off switch. Here on the top, we've got our pressure gauge, so that is in bar and PSI. The red in bar can go up to 4, and the PSI can go up to 60. And then over here on the right side, we've got our interface. Here we have got our power cable. It says that is 14-aught, which will be perfectly capable of handling up to 1500 watts. It is a standard power supply plug and a 3-prong plug. So here we got our tray with our drain hose. So this appears to be a silicone drain hose, which is great, so they're going to be flexible. One nice touch, they actually put a weight on the bottom, so in the event that this thing starts spraying out, you don't have to worry about that hose kicking all over the place. So I'm glad that they did that. So no tools, you don't have to worry about any kind of a spring clamp or a worm drive clamp, anything like that. You just push that on and that is good to go. Here we've got our tray holder. So whenever it is time to pull these guys out, you want to try to make sure that everything is as sterile as possible. With this, you can grab onto those trays, so you don't have to worry about burning your fingers. You don't have to worry about making extra contact with anything you don't want to. It looks like we came with a spare fuse. It looks like a car fuse, and that is yellow, and you can just barely see on the top that is a 20 amp fuse. So we got a couple of trays here. This one is a duplicate of this tray, so these are our two main trays. We got a bunch of holes on here. This is a raised surface, and we got a lowered surface with drain holes on the bottom. We've got another tray, and we've got our tray rack. Now you can see on here we do have some rubber silicone here on the bottom, and in a couple of different spots. We do have a guard here on the back, so that is going to go toward the rear. So this is going to make sure that we are not going too far. We're going to leave a little bit of space in the back. And there we have got our rack. On the back we got our tag, so in the event that we lose the manual, we still got all that information right there. We got our power port right there. And very importantly, we have a pressure relief here on the back. So in the event that for whatever reason the chamber starts building pressure out of control, this will pop, it will release the pressure from there, so you don't have to worry about this guy detonating. Very important, very glad that they put that on there. Also, you can see this key ring on here. So if you need to let the pressure out manually, you can just pull up. That will open up the valve, so you can pull the pressure out manually. Do not recommend doing that. Remember, it's going to be very hot steam coming out of here, but in the event of emergency, you do have that as an option. So yeah, that looks like a very nice autoclave.